Hey folks, it's me, Snep again, and guess what? We are looking at a Dragon's End with 60 necromancers. That's right, we put 60 necromancers in Dragon's End. It's actually a miracle that we somehow got the entirety of the map filled with our colleagues. Yeah, I have no idea. I think we just got kind of lucky. But anyways, this is what we did. In each subgroup, we have a minimum of 1 Harbinger. The reason for this is Harbingers can provide quickness. Yay, necromancers providing boons, right? So the Harbingers are allowing us to have a little bit more boon uptime, but there really isn't any alacrity. That said, necromancers actually can provide a little bit of alacrity with their elite skill, but given that we're going to be bursting this so hard, I didn't tell people to really equip that. In fact, I didn't tell people to really do anything as far as gear or builds or anything, aside from just saying, hey, it'd be cool if like a couple necromancers brought blood magic to pull res people. As you can see, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing like heal scourge here, basically. And then I also said, hey, you know, it'd be pretty nice if every Harbinger brought a little bit of quickness. That's it. So as you can see, because we have the big buffs, we do get boons right off the bat in combat, but those boons will dwindle at least a little bit. The beautiful part is we will never run out of might, because blood is power, which is that fist skill that it's connected to my mouse 5 button, but you can see it's that middle utility skill. That skill actually provides might to your subgroup. So if you have 1,000,000 necromancers all running blood as power, you will never run out of might. And guess what? Might is pretty relevant. So as you can see, within 30 seconds, we took out the first phase. So 20% we took it out. At this point, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is going to be one of the fastest runs ever. We also opted to bring Spectral Grasp, which what it does is it pulls in enemies. So as you can imagine, you can see there's no enemies on the board because we instantly pull them in and cleave them down immediately. And if we Epidemic off Suwon, 60 Epidemics all at the same time, if at 5 stacks each, that's 300 stacks of Condis spreading out to your enemies. So you can see that that's pretty powerful. And then here, anytime we die, we just instantly res again because we have heal scourges with blood magic. If you watch the squad UI, people are going down and then immediately coming back up. And we sort of have soft healing with so much barriers, so that's pretty powerful as well. And again, you can see that we're just CCing and pulling things and making sure that we do as much damage as possible. This is probably the most ridiculous run I've done so far. This is by far the fastest run I have ever done. And I accredit it to just being able to handle these ads so well. I think that's perhaps one of the biggest things people are struggling with in Dragon's End is they don't really have people in their squad prepared to deal with these ads in an appropriate way. What you want to do is have people that have pulls and things that will allow you to cleave these down faster. You can see we even did that part super fast with the wisps. So the one struggle though is we don't really have much for stability. We didn't really think about that, I guess. So some people are probably going to die here. You see I double dodge to try to stay, but that's okay. And we go back in. So again, more might, Spectral Grasp. One thing you can do is if you're on the stack, it's actually worth discussing with your team if a few people like basically just turn around and pull things in so that you can either epidemic them or just cleave them down. And you know what? That was really effective, as you can see. I must say, we did get pretty lucky as far as the phases are concerned. We didn't have a lot of brutal mechanics, didn't flip on us too much. So that is maybe a little bit lucky, but other than that, this is just the raw power of Necromancer. You can see on my bar right now, I have no alacrity. We do not have alacrity in the squad, but it just doesn't matter. Imagine if we had, you know, 10 people playing alacrity on this squad. Like, what would have happened? And again, you can see right now, there are hardly any ads up at all. There's a Thorn Heart that we target. Make sure you always take care of those Thorn Hearts. But man, I was so surprised. I thought Necromancer was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be this good. I had no idea. And just for context, again, a lot of people think that I'm really cherry picking the people that are in my groups. And I think it's fair to say that when you're a streamer or content creator of any kind, that you're going to get some better players in your squads. But I made this completely public, completely open on the, I'm not sure, I actually can't remember if this one specifically I did LFG, but I went to the Heartstuck Discord, which has 20,000 people plus, and I just said, hey, this is what I'm doing. Anyone's welcome to join. As far as builds and gear are concerned, I didn't mandate anything. I said, hey, it'd be nice if you're playing Harbinger if you bring a little bit of quickness so that we can have that extra boon. But otherwise, You know, if you just play like Condi Scourge or Power Reaper, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure we'll do just fine. So that's what we did. And I just organized the subgroup, assuming that people were bringing quickness if they were Harbinger, and just sort of spreading the love out. And yeah, this is what we got as a result. Is a very powerful group. Now, what you can't see, you see right now I'm 49 of 50. One of the Scourges, I believe, is in the other subgroup or the other squad. We have another tag, and the other tag is for the overflow 10 or 11 people. So there are legitimately 16 at the beginning of the video. You could see the game actually tells you when you're in Dragon's End how many people are on the top platform, and it should have peaked at 60 at some point. So we did have 60 necromancers here, which is pretty cool because a lot of our other runs, we say that they're all thief or whatever, but in reality, there's a few pugs that aren't really participating with us, and that's totally fine. They have every right to be there. So yeah, that's that. You know, one thing that that I find really interesting about this fight is people often say that it's really RNG based, and that's such an interesting thing because literally the entire game is RNG based. If you look, your weapons actually have a range of damage that they can do. And so if you were to high roll like 0.00001% chance and everybody were to constantly high roll, you'd actually be doing more damage. You can literally argue that pretty much everything in the game is RNG. I mean, that's how a lot of the really big, what are they called? The blanking now. The, oh, what is it? When you do, oh, a benchmark. That's it. That's how the benchmarks are made. You have to do it multiple times and you have to high roll a little bit. That's how you beat the benchmarks. You just keep doing it until you get the highest amount of damage possible, which, you know, and you could argue that if you keep doing it, some of those benchmarks could probably be beaten, but at some point it just becomes a bit annoying and unnecessary to do. So when we're talking about RNG, know that this fight does have some elements that impact your ability to win faster. How many times is it going to switch sides and go invulnerable? Yes, that is absolutely a factor. I will not deny that. However, if your group is sufficiently organized and you have, you know, reasonably okay builds and stuff, which again, I recognize is difficult to, you know, force upon people or whatever in open world, and you wouldn't want to do that anyway. That would be disrespectful. But as long as you're sufficiently organized and people are doing a reasonable amount of DPS, you can do it. You can do it. You can overcome the RNG. Because at some point, your damage is high enough to where even if you super low rolled, it wouldn't really matter. The problem that I think that people have, and people can, in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, is they think that maybe that is not still unfair. You know, still not really fair to people's time and the amount of preparation that goes into the meta. I must say, though, the ability to get 5 stacks in the pre-event should really help with that time thing again. So look here. This is beautiful. Everybody's in comms. We have people shouting out stuff in map chat and squad chat and everything as well. So we go in here and boom, we're at 40%. So we put way stations on both sides so that we can actually break the bar really fast, but believe it or not, Necromancer actually has quite a bit of break bar. So any of the break bars that I don't even remember, did we get 1 break bar this entire time? I think we might have got like 1 or 2 break bars. Maybe it already happened and I missed it, but the break bars went so fast. Oh, look at the res here. Everyone's alive. Unreal. Oh, and we're switching sides again. So Necromancers have so much break bar that it's like irrelevant, you know, like it just doesn't matter, especially since we brought Spectral Grasp as well. It's too good. It's too good. So we're at 30%. Is that tail going up? No, it's not. Oh boy. Oh, so the whirlpools again, kind of a non-issue if everybody has special action key. And we look, we got out of it so fast. Nobody's gonna even die here. And if they do, look, I don't think a single person died to that because we were able to get away so quickly. But again, look at the boons. We don't even have like our full potential. It's just so wild to me that this was so fast. One thing that I've actually been doing in these runs lately is I get people in the chat to guess how fast the run will be. Oh, here's the break bar. Look at it melt. Look at that. Unbelievable. So one thing I've been doing is getting people to guess how much time will be remaining when we finish. And I give them an infusion if they're the closest, which is kind of neat. And somebody actually guessed this within like 4 or 5 seconds, which was pretty unreal. So you see me checking the squad message. I do this because I write down for everybody where they're supposed to go. What I've been doing is sending 1 to 4 northwest, 5 to 8 northeast, and then 9, 10 in the overflow to south. In this particular instance, it's probably a bit strange to do that because, well, the northwest one is actually the hardest one to beat, I believe, because it is moving a lot. We'll see that in a second here. Yes, we're going to fly down there. But yeah, normally if you're in a pug group and if you're in a map and you have like a few pugs, you want to send the most subgroups to northwest and kind of hope that the pugs will disperse on the other two. But yeah, here you'll see northwest. It just moves a lot, so it's harder to do consistent damage. We'll see that in a second. Generally, it's advisable for people to just kind of stand in the middle, though I probably don't follow that advice here. I'm just going to run around. Lots of people say to stay in the middle and just like stack and kill it, but doesn't even matter in this case. We do so much damage. For some reason, we're not really going after the break bar as hard as we did at Suwon, but that's because when you go down here, you lose your special action key, and so we actually lose the EMP that does so much break bar. Regardless, though, Necromancer still has the F4 Fear. It has the Warhorn 4, which I always put Paralyzation Sigil. If you don't know, Paralyzation Sigil increases the stun duration by 30% or something, and you know what? That increases your CC or your Defiance break by a lot. So consider putting that if you don't have it. So we're gonna burn everything down. My understanding is that a lot of pickup groups really struggle with that split part because they can't organize their DPS well. And I'm actually still trying to strategize on what would be the best way to help pickup groups overcome that problem. See, we're in the last 20% now. We actually get like god tier RNG. We were so close to having 9 minutes remaining. I actually thought that we could do it. This is just lucky. I'm not even going to deny it. We don't get any movement here or anything. We just can blast this thing down. Maybe we get one movement if I recall correctly. But the point is that we look at this. We just keep getting waves and stuff, and it just allows us to just burst damage. But pay attention once again to how all the ads just melt. They actually are completely irrelevant in this entire fight because of Necromancer. Anyway, people, we're coming to the end of the video, but all I want to say is that this was perhaps the most fun run I've ever done at Dragon's End. I think it was 852 remaining or something. You can be the judge. You let me know down below. But anyway, what should we do next? I am thinking about doing... I've already done a couple. There's more videos to come. But I am looking forward to trying some bigger memes. What would you like to see? Comment down below. And of course, go out, be good, be kind, do good things, don't let your dreams and memes unless that's what you're into. And the most important one, stay classy, my friends. And we'll see you next time, okay? Bye.